I will not accept. The conspiracy to me is to try to convince me that the times have changed, and we went from, in the Black community, producing Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston to what really Black people really want to hear right now, the Sexy Red. And so that's the reason why these record labels are going to Sexy Red and offering her a deal. I refuse to believe that. So yes, power is held by these labels when they go out, and I don't mean that as any disrespect to her. What I am saying is that frequencies are real, okay?
Exactly.
Frequencies impact your spirit.
There's been brothels and strip clubs and stuff since the oldest
But I'm
profession
talking
is,
about music, and you are correct, but Confucius said, listen to the music.
and you'll be able to know the
and there's a reason for that.
society.
These people, in my viewpoint, have a lot of power in the music industry. Also understand that. There is no reason to fight to put filth on the airways and then try to convince people that it's free speech.
Because it's
in fact, I will tell you, these people are being pushed in a certain direction. Women, you're being told, can you make it sexier?
What is up with the YouTube? It's Coffee. Tapping back in, man. New Year's on the way. We got a lot to get to, man. It's a crazy world we're living in these days. That is a fact. 2025 is almost upon us. That's just really blowing my mind, man. Hit the comments and let me know if these years is just flying by a little too fast for you, man. Well, we got some New Year's-ish to get to, but you heard that there. Candace Owens, and in the comments, a lot of people are like, yo, I don't care for Candace, but she is so on point with this. I see a lot of comments to that effect. A lot of individuals just saying, yo, Candace is a queen. She spits nothing but facts. The point that I'm getting at is everyone is agreeing on this, even if they don't care for Candace Owens, you know, that she hit the nail right on the head. And people, when it comes to Sexy Red, listen, women expressing their sexuality and things like that, okay, you know, that's one thing, man, you know, but she is so extra out and just flat out nasty with it. She should switch her name up to Nasty Red. And I know, y'all, it's the labels, as Candace was pointing out. We're gonna get to that, but I just gotta say, still, she should change her name to Nasty Red, man, because she's on some just flamboyantly disgusting-ish. When I saw this lip gloss, have y'all not seen this yet? I'm sure a lot of people have, man. Listen to these flavors or colors or scents, colors, flavors, whatever the fuck they're called, right? Coochie juice, booty hole brown, nut. I feel foul even just saying these. You know what I'm saying? Pussy hole pink. Yeah, that's really some ish that's being marketed. You see the pink packaging, trying to make it look all cute with this just filth on it. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Come on, B. This is just ridiculous, redonkulous, man. Yellow discharge. That, I'm not even capping, trying to be extra with it. I gag a little bit when I say that, or I feel some gagging come upon me. You know what I mean? Pause. I feel like I gotta say, throw a pause in there. But yellow discharge, like disgusting. If I was eating a sandwich and someone was like, yo, check out this sexy red yellow discharge, yo, I might pop off on you, keeping it a buck, right? Like, that's disgusting. It gets worse, y'all. Gonorrhea, blue balls, and sex on my period. That is just so foul, sick, twisted, nasty, almost like demonry going on here. You know what I mean? Like, listen, again, we're gonna get to the label thing and all that, like Candace was pointing out, but this was just the filth of all filth when I was seeing this ish. I couldn't believe this a couple weeks ago. But getting to what Candace is talking about, right? We see the envelope being pushed more and more with this sexuality stuff. We're in this age of OnlyFans, you know what I'm saying? Like YouTube and the blogosphere and everything, what it is now, people having devices. Like, tap in and comment and let me know, like what generation you come from. Like, for me, devices are pretty much still new. I mean, they've been around for a grip, and I've had them and regularly used them now to where I'm used to that is a part of life, right? But I'm the generation where we didn't always have that. Some generations, this is what they just always had. You feel me? Like, I didn't even start using the smartphone regularly until I want to say 2017, 18. I really was like using it more, you know. But it's just so different. And you know, this is all, we're gonna tie it all together. You know what I mean? But it's influencing the youth in just such a different way. It's flucked up parenting in just ways you can't imagine. You know what I mean? Because it's like so hard to parent the youth and monitor what they're doing, because they find ways around these apps and stuff like that that are in place as security measures to keep them safe. Hell, comment any parents out there if you've experienced this, right? With school, right? Schools now all give their students, the kids, the youth, Chromebooks and stuff like that. These kids find a way to disable the Chromebooks from school and do all kinds of you know, things they're not supposed to be doing on it. You know, I mean, some kids, it's still not righteous, not for educational value. Like they're just like cutting class and watching movies or whatever, or try to be a YouTuber on the device, you know, because they uninstall or deactivate the security measures. But some are using it for flucked up ish. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, man. They have, listen, I've been around, I've lived a lot of, well, not a lot of places. I lived one place pretty much all my life. And, you know, I'm a square. I always say that, where I have no qualms about calling the police or nothing like that. You know what I mean? I'm no G, I'm no gangster, but I've been around the block a little bit. I've seen something. I had basehead family members. I'm not naive to what time it is. You know what I'm saying? But something that I was unaware of that was really going on is in a different place that I live now, like, you know, there's like pimping and hoeing going on, right? Where I came up, the only women that were really doing that were women, you know, smoking crack out trying to come up on a blast. You know what I mean? There's this flucked up ish going on a level, you know, where I live now. Like it's trafficking, it's human trafficking. You know what I'm saying? And these pimps are sending the youth into the schools, right? Like that are younger of age to be in the school, and grooming them into brainwashing them to thinking that, like, yeah, yo, like, find girls to turn out, like that's the thing to do, and send them to the pimps. It's disgusting, it's foul, it's sick. They should all get hit with the ex-offender tag and get hit with that human trafficking law. A lot of people try to like downplay all that. Nah, man, hit these motherfuckers with human trafficking laws and lock them the fuck up, man. And some people might say, Coffee, what it was like, we're talking about Sexy Red and what Candace Owens was talking about. Listen, that music, just the over gratuitous, like just like I said, y'all, we heard the type of things Lil Kim and stuff was saying. And, you know, shout out to Lil Kim. She made her music. There was a lot of women with very actual lyrics and stuff like that. Yes, that's been a thing. You know, it's parental advisory. It's not, you know, for younger ears, should we say, you know what I mean? But like artists like Sexy Red are making Lil Kim look like she was PG-13 or something like that. And it's so over the top, and it's having the youth have very laxed like morality and feelings towards that kind of stuff, where they're thinking it's cool to be out like doing that kind of stuff, and are more inclined to fall into that type of foul, flucked up ish. Like, it's all so twisted, it's all so sick, it's disturbing. We've seen things going on an elite level with POLITICIANS, and, you know, people tied to the government and stuff like that that were involved in all kinds of sick, twisted ish, and they're demonic, and they should all burn in hell for that. That is actual factual, no question. You know, it's so twisted out here. You know, I had to point that out, and I want to know what y'all think about that, man. This just over actualization stuff is just too much, and it's just not right, man. And something needs to be done. And I'm glad to hear her speaking out. And we're going to get to that second part about these labels. I know I keep saying it, you know what I mean? But I'm kind of long-winded in which what I speak of at certain times. You heard me? But peep it. Like Sexy Red in this whole thing, I believe, is an agenda. Just like what we were seeing and hearing about before with opiates and pills and drugs and stuff like that. You want to talk about hip hop or people being on the block, because that's another thing. Like when I was mentioning Lil' Kim, right? You had her saying that stuff, which now Sexy Red has looking like it's some PG stuff because she's so over the top with it. And something else I forgot to mention in that, like I said, there's like people just, you know, wanting to pursue YouTube and making content like that. Now there's people looking up to individuals doing the OnlyFans thing. And, you know, like I know there's going to be people that are going to say, oh, you know, people have a right to do what they want. Yes, that's true, okay? But it's flucked up and foul and perverted to be influencing the youth to fall in line with that kind of stuff. Like it's cool before they're even old enough to make a decision really about this. You know what I mean? Like it's just so wrong and sick and flucked up what's going on. And just like what I was saying about Lil' Kim, right? When that was all going on, okay, she had those kind of lyrics, and there was, you know, female MCs pushing that kind of stuff through their bars, but that wasn't it. There was other female MCs spitting different type stuff. Like, am I tripping, right? Or did MC Light? I'm Light the MC, and I'm as light as a rock. Remember that? Like she wasn't pushing that type stuff, right? Queen Latifah, UNITY. UNIT, right? Like there was, you know, females pushing that kind of stuff, females with a more conscious message. We had TLC out here promoting Safe X. Waterfalls was like a whole movement, and something that I think someone needs to bring back in a way, man, and save lives out here. You know what I mean? It's great that there's been advancement in MEDICINESs, right? But I see so much damn HIV meds commercials. It's almost like they're pushing people to be like, yo, don't worry if you get the HIV, it's okay. And I mean, at the end of the day, I have not a direct family member of mine, but someone who, my baby mom, who at one point was like my wife, you know what I'm saying? She has a cousin that's had the HIV for the longest time, Billy Joel voice, you heard? And, you know, they got off the D-rugs, and, you know, they got it through what I was talking about, you know what I'm saying? Getting high and doing what they had to get a blue blast or whatever, you know? And they got hived up, you know what I mean? But they cleaned up and were taking their meds, and they've lived a good life. Like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing that's out here, you know what I mean? I'm just saying it just feels like there's so many things just being pushed in an agenda-like way, you know, that is sending the youth down a real foul, flucked up path, in a sick, perverse path. And it's demonic, it's demonry going on, you know what I'm saying? We talk all the time on my other channel, which, you know, go subscribe over there if you're not, J Coffee Talk. You know, you'll probably see there's a lot of ish over there, you know, much to my detriment. Many people tell me, Coffee, you talk too many topics. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Because you might catch an NFL video, you might catch a crime video, you might catch a video about hip hop or music, you might catch a conspiratorial video. You know what I mean? We talk about all different stuff, prison YouTubers, just viral videos or whatever, you feel me? But on that channel, what I was trying to say is we speak about the wicked demons, you know what I mean, that hail from Maustein Island and Epstein Island and stuff like that. And it's just all so sick and twisted. And that's what I keep talking about. And here we are pushing into this new year, man. 2025 is basically upon us, man. It's so crazy, man. I remember being a young and growing up, man, when 1999 was pushing into the year 2000 G, 2K. Remember Will Smith dropped that joint, Will 2K, where it was like, it had a sample of The Clash, Rock the Casbah, where it was like, yeah, I forget how it went. Y'all know what I'm talking about, Will Smith? Where he was talking about rock the dance floor and all that, and he had that one comedian in the beginning that had the @ like on a keyboard symbol on his chain. I don't know, I'm getting a bit off topic, coffee talking it up as I do. Apologies, y'all. It's just blowing my mind that I'm a quarter century from that time period till now. That was a major thing, obviously. The new millennium, the year 2000, I remember it when I was just a teenager, and I see how much the world has changed. And listen, agendas are a strong thing, like it's wild out here, and it's spiritual warfare. That's a fact, Jack. It's really going on, man. And like things are about to get spookier and scarier and all that, you know what I mean? But getting back, so everyone get right with your creator. You don't gotta be religious if you're just spiritual. Get right with what you believe in, live righteously. You heard about frequencies. Stay on a path with the frequency that is in tune with Mother Earth, and live right. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all hit the comments, guys. We got to talk about this, and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell and all that. You know what I mean? And we're going to have live streams where you can call in and coffee talk it up with me. You know what I mean? Because it's all about chopping it up with y'all, the good people of the blogosphere over here. But what I wanted to get to, another agenda, one more thing real quick before we tie it all together with what Candace was talking about. The labels is how when I was coming up, right, and there was more conscious hip hop out, and in other genres of music there was a lot more conscious, or just not dumbed down music, but conscious on a positive level, and knowledge of self and things like that, was the mathematics and all that, you heard? But like back in that time period, if you was dibbling and dabbling in the street and hustling, right, other than smoking some weed, that loud pack, which side convo, man, I don't know if it's just where I'm living at. I can't smoke weed. Weed to me is like smoking PCP, you heard? Like, I just can't fluck with it. Maybe a couple brewskis, which I've been trying to lay off that. I have an autoimmune sickness, so, I'm on meds and stuff like that. And I drink more than I should. I just was off the sauce for like 2 months, but I've been back on it. Light work, more recently. But in that era, if you were dibbling and dabbling in the streets, the only thing that was really looked at as like acceptable was maybe some drinks, right? And smoking weed. And don't be drinking that Cisco, that liquid crack. You heard? That ish was no good. You feel me? But at a certain, like if you were flucking around with other stuff, you were looked at as a cold base head, like, yo, you's a fiend and all that. And there was an agenda that happened with all that, where all of a sudden songs really started pushing pill pop, swag, pop pills, snort this and all that. Like, that was just what was up. It was so odd, and it all coincided with a different timeline that was going on in this country that we saw with the OPI ATESs, you know what I mean, where they were overprescribed, you know what I mean? We know what PURDUEPHARMA did. There was a big class action lawsuit that went on. There's a great show, if any of y'all have Hulu out there, called Dope Sick. Michael Keaton is in it. I think it's like 5-6 episodes. Go tap into that, watch it. Excellent series. I believe it is based on a true story. There was a doctor that even got flucked up in that ish, but they overprescribed it, had everyone all flucked up on it all, then cut it all off. You know what I'm saying? Where the streets were flooded with it. Everyone was on that ish, even people, who weren't originally doing it. Then next thing you know, it was cut off. people started turning to that smack juice, that dog food, that heroin. Then next thing you know, that starts getting slowly replaced with the Fenty, with it to the point that it was just laced, and then there was more and more, to the point I don't even think real dog food or heroin exists anymore, and everyone is dying left and right of the Fenty or the Fenty or the Trank-ish. It's just disgusting and disturbing, and there's a lot of things like that that are at play, agendas, in my opinion. And I just have to say, this is my opinion. There is info out there that, to me, coincides with this to be more than a theory, but we got to play it the way we got to play it when we're tapping in the YT system like this and say allegedly, and this is just my belief. You know what I mean? Y'all catch what I'm saying, right? Wink, wink, nod, nod. Y'all know what time it is, man. I know people are a lot smarter than most people think people really are. Like, people are smart, man. And people are a lot nicer and kinder than people would like to think as well, as we approach the year 2025. You know what I mean? We got Whack 100 and Loose Cannon on their agenda to run around having everyone acting like goofballs and trying to, promote this gang-ish like it's just the coolest ish ever, and incriminating yourself on video camera and pistol whipping your fellow man and stuff like that, and being afraid to run a head up fade. Like, it's just goofy time going on, but let's tie it all together and get back to what she was talking about the labels. The labels are very influential, as you got to follow the money too and see what companies are tied to what labels, what is a conglomerate of what, and follow it up the food chain, the money chain, follow the money. Where does it all go? Whose money is it really at the end of the day? You smell me? Tap in and comment too. Anyone out there with any pertinent info, links, anything that you would like to chime in on this. Once again, if you're new, hit the comments, subscribe, hit the buttons for me, but more importantly, hit them comments and coffee talk it up with me. That is what this platform is all about, is talking it up with y'all, the people, and that's what it is, right? So these labels are very powerful and they put money behind things, right? Well, check this out. This isn't something that hasn't happened before, like what we're seeing with this over actualization, but what I want to see, like this agenda going on right now, we've seen it happen before, but I want to see someone put some money behind more powerful artists. You know what I mean? Or more, not powerful, more positive artists. Let's see someone give some of them artists some deals, because we did see that back in the day. We did see more conscious music. Yeah, there was music, talking about gangster-ish and reporting what this, the struggle and what was going on in the streets and the crack boom and all that, which we know the CIA, the government was behind. You heard? Freeway Ricky Ross, right? He done, told us all. It's facts, the Contras and all that, man. Gary Webb, R.I.P. Gary Webb, that reporter that lost his life, man. Like, this is deep-ish, that runs very deep. You know what I mean? So we're seeing this agenda going on now, right? But back then we saw people report on that kind of stuff, but we saw more positive stuff, upbeat stuff, and conscious stuff, and like I said, stuff that spoke on knowledge of self, you know what I mean? And things that weren't just made to dumb people down. There was more substance to it as well. So getting back to all this and kind of trying to put a bow on this, as I see I'm at like 22 minutes now, y'all. Comment if you're still here. If you're still here right now, hit a 2 and then 2 coffee emojis and then a star emoji, and say Happy New Year to coffee. Happy New Year to y'all. Bring in the new year right. Be safe, everyone, okay? But check it out. The big agenda that went down back in the day, Everlast talked about it. I'll try to find a video if I can and link it below. If it's not here now, come back later, because I gotta run for New Year's, the festivities and all that, right? But Everlast from House of Pain spoke on it on the Joe Rogan podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience, and one of the members of Bone, I don't know if it was Krayzie or Busy Bone, one of them spoke about it, that back in the day, right? There, I want to say mid to late 90s, somewhere in that time frame, I believe, do not quote me, that there was a mysterious individual, you know, tied to the elite that was going around to different labels and, you know, letting it be known, hey, we want to switch up the type of acts that you're signing, and we want you to get in on a big business endeavor, you know, that will like in one way or another. They had an arrangement through the dude who was tapped in with the elites, who was trying to get the labels to push this negative type of music. You know what I mean? Because there was all kinds of you know, hip hop music, right? Y'all remember that? I am everyday people. That's my ish, man. Arrested Development, I still rock with them today. Souls of Mischief, just all kinds of dope stuff, man. You know, when cross colors were the truth. But they were this dude represented, you know, people from the higher up, the ruling elite, the powers that be, right? And there was supposedly a letter out there. I've never been able to find it myself. Tap in and comment and let me know if you have, right? And basically, this guy was said to represent private prisons, privatized prisons, which we know, you know, like are a major money maker, and they also are involved in in industry, in, you know, making things and not having to pay righteous wages, not even minimum wage, because people are locked up paying people like a nickel an hour or something like that, 10 cents an hour, and make money off that. And, you know, there's just so much money tied up in privatized prisons. And that basically this guy was telling the labels, hey, you guys can get in and get a piece of this and own stock in what we have going on. The projections are through the roof, the kind of money that it's going to make. And, you know, we want you to push music that will, again, like X-Clan, Public Enemy, comment some of the other acts, people I'm forgetting about. We always talk about Brand Nubian with Lord Jamar, although he's been catching a lot of heat lately, you know what I mean? But we ain't talking about that right now. We're just saying, you know, that a lot of these acts disappeared, and, you know, that the label, you know, that were said to be getting in bed with this guy that represented privatized prisons, you know, wanted the music as powerful as it is to sign acts that represented the type of, you know, content in the music that would create genres of music that would influence people to go to prison and, you know, keep the prison industry shaking and moving and making more and more money. So when I saw this clip and seeing what Candace was talking about with Sexy Red, like, this ish is real, you know what I mean? And this ain't so tinfoil hat ish. It might sound like it, but it's realer than real, you know what I mean? So comment and let me know if y'all were up on all this, your thoughts, and you know, or do you think there is still some positive artists being pushed by major labels today, or is that non-existent, you know what I mean? Or does someone just every now and then break through on their own independently, you know? Like, let's just talk about it all. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year. Be safe. I gotta run, y'all. Let's talk. Peace.